What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Paul's Best Podcast, the podcast where we talk about nothing but the absolute best. I have another great guest today, somebody that I've been hearing about. Dude, I got to tell you, I keep hearing about you, and they're like, you got to get Tyler on. You got to get Tyler on. And I'm like, all right. And then I was like, yeah, oh, that dude. And, you know, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I envy your hairline. Your hair is like, no, I'm not even joking, like in person. Like you see people with like hair, nice.
Yeah.
But then you see somebody that it's just like, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Hynes is here.
Plot twist.
Congratulations. Oh, dude, that would be so
off.
great, dude.
Just like
if
that.
You were just like, it's a piece, and you just put it there.
Put it next
and then
to me
I
right
would be a professional, but it would take me probably 5 minutes to really be like, to like register that it wasn't. Dude, you're crushing it on Hallmark.
You're very kind to say that. You just rifled off Bill Burr, Pete Davidson, some legends. So I am definitely scraping the bottom barrel of who you've had on the show, and I'm grateful to be here.
No, dude, we've had amazing guests on this show, and you are no exception, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
And you're Canadian. We were talking about this before, from Toronto, and not that you seem surprised, but I told you, like, Toronto, dude, the one thing that really surprised me about Canada was how great the comedy crowds are. Obviously, Montreal, because, you know, just for laughs. But, dude, Toronto, great food. The only one complaint I have about Toronto.
Let's hear it.
The only complaint, buddy.
Yeah.
There's no cigar lounges after their tobacco laws. So I can't, like, after a gig, I like to go to a cigar lounge, watch the highlights, smoke a cigar, and you have to, like, know some, like, it needs to be some underground,
Some
stuff.
speakeasy thing?
Yeah.
So then tell me, is that a thing? Because I've never been to a smoking lounge. You go just to that? Just to go have a cigarette or have a cigar?
Yeah. So what I'll do is, like, I'll do my show.
Yeah.
There'll be like an 8 o'clock, a 10 o'clock. I'm kind of tired because now the shows are over. It's almost midnight. I got a family. You know, I got a little boy, little girl, wife. So I'm not a go out to club. But
you still got that energy from the show. You want to do something to unwind.
A little unwinding, get a leather chair, maybe a little cigar, nice lounge, maybe an old-fashioned.
Are we going solo or with somebody?
I can't do solo.
Yeah.
But usually my opener, who I'm usually cool with, and I pick the openers who are like, you know,
really?
they don't go crazy, they don't go out, but they'll sit down, we'll talk some sports, we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Maybe get an old-fashioned or a whiskey, maybe two, and then you know what? Call it a night.
Good nightcap.
Nice cat, you know,
Ease
nightcap.
into bed. Yeah.
Yeah, because
we have laws against that? That sounds like a good time. We got no fun laws in Canada? What's going on with Toronto?
I was like, dude, Toronto, like, why not? And they were like, oh, you got to know somebody, you got to find a place.
Really?
Yeah. So
I might got a place for you.
I think it's
I got some friends.
Okay, yeah, you got friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of my best friends and my manager, actually. We kind of did this entourage thing where I used to have a whole lot of agents and managers and things.
Yeah.
Too many at one time.
Yeah.
And I kind of just slowly got rid of everybody. And now it's just my best friend who grew up a skateboarder. We were talking about skateboarding.
Yeah.
He was on his way to becoming a skateboarder, became a club promoter. Now he owns a bunch of bars and restaurants, and one is this kind of speakeasy down below, like a sports bar that he owns.
Nice. That's in Toronto?
It's called the Good Night Club, Good Night Bar, Good Night something.
Okay.
But that's the spot, and it's a really good vibe.
I'll be definitely texting you
go down there,
next
hit
time
some
I
cigars.
go down.
Yeah, I'll go down and join you. We'll get some cigars going. Yeah.
What, are you still? Do you live there or no?
I live there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
That's the spot.
So, I know that you got big and heavy into the Hallmark stuff.
Yeah.
But I also see you're doing a bunch of stuff. You do everything.
Yeah, I started this when I was like 7 years old. I grew up in Toronto. My parents, my dad is a bricklayer, and all my friends are. And you know, my parents wanted to get rid of me for a couple weeks in the summertime because anybody would. Seeing my face as little as possible is anybody's best summer. So he got this discount because he fixed a chimney at this local theater company.
Right.
And they were like, okay, your kid is obnoxious enough that we might pay him to be in this play. And so that was my first paycheck, and I started then, and I've done all kinds of different strange things. And
so go ahead. So you were saying about, like, so they saw you to be in a play.
So I started when I was 7. So I've done all kinds of weird things, you know what I mean? TV shows and movies and whatnot, and got into directing some music videos.
Yeah, and what's crazy about that is I was reading Rodney Dangerfield's biography. And unfortunately, I was actually going to go to Barnes & Noble, meet him, because my dad took me, because him and Eddie Murphy are the reason I do what I do.
I was going to say, you're going to meet Rodney Dangerfield.
I was going to meet Rodney Dangerfield when he had the book out,
Wow.
But he got sick, and then after he got sick, he never recovered, and he unfortunately passed away, rest his soul. Yeah. But I read his book, and he talked about how there was just this woman that he was like friends with.
Yeah.
And they were like, you don't have an assistant. You need an assistant. And he just looked at her and goes, how about you? You want to be my assistant? She goes, I don't even know I don't even know. He goes, it's fine. You'll figure it out. And then all of a sudden that happens.
Yeah.
Where like somebody's like, oh, my friend is now my manager.
Yeah. Life is beautiful that way. When you get to the finish line of it all, let's say it works out.
Yes.
Do you want to look to your right and see like some person that you kind of know but don't really know, and maybe you guys didn't quite get each other?
Yeah.
Or do you want to look around and be like, you and me did this, you know?
It's so cool, man.
And even if you end up nowhere, same thing. You want to look around when you're a loser and you got nothing, and you go like, you and I did this. You know what I mean? It's the same result.
Dude, when I first started doing stand-up, you got me thinking about stuff now. When I first started doing stand-up, my older brother, Christian, he would just drive with me.
Yeah.
And he would just be in the crowd.
Yeah.
He would just be in the crowd alone. And like now thinking about it, I was so like locked into what I was doing that I didn't really take it back. But like now I'm like putting myself in my older brother's shoes, sitting in the back of a comedy club by himself, watching his little brother on stage. And like now to like, you know, to have him, you know, be at my Netflix taping and to have like, it's really kind of amazing to have that.
How beautiful is that?
Dude.
So do you have like a team now, or is your bro still on the team?
No, my brother is one of my biggest supporters, but like, no, I just have, you know how it is, you know, you got the agent, you got the manager, and you got, you know what I mean? But I've maneuvered enough, Tyler, where I make sure that the people that are here really are.
Yeah.
Because you could get a lot of, hey, you're great, you know?
I mean, you can get lucky, right? You can find somebody who's in the business, is doing their thing, and you really are like a kindred spirit, and you figure it out together. And that's a really beautiful thing. It's rare. It seems to be hard to find. But, like, more often than not, you know, you start to suss people out, and you get a feeling, and you just go, yeah, that's it. You're it. Yeah, for better or for worse, for however long we want to do it, let's just do that because it feels right. And I feel like the more decisions you make in that respect, you can't really go wrong, because these things can go wrong even in the best of circumstances.
Yeah.
So, you know, as long as you got somebody that you believe in next to you, it can't get better than that.
Are you married?
No.
All right, so I got to ask you this, like, 'cause, I mean, I'm going to try to say this without being like, dude, you must be crushing it. But listen, what I'm saying is, you're a young, good-looking dude, good actor, right? Single guy, and your audience is a lot of women, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get recognized for this. It's probably more than just, oh, I love doing that thing. It's, hey, do you ever get like, hey, I'd love to hang out. You're just like, I live in Toronto.
Yeah, basically that. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
More or less that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never, somebody bought me my first drink the other day. And it was actually when I was with, I think, Vanity Fair, or somebody was doing an interview, and somebody bought me a drink, and it's somebody who watches the movies. And it was a woman.
Yeah.
But that was the first time. I never got drinks bought for me at the bar. I never had that happen.
That was the first? It was the first
time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That I can remember. I mean, maybe I'm forgetting something, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. How old were you when you got like the first big part? Like, because I know you started at 7, but like
still not there, dog. I'll let you know when it happens.
You're like, hopefully next year. Hopefully,
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I started making these movies, I think, like 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
And it kind of just happened. It was happenstance. There was a movie with Leanne Rimes. They asked me if I wanted to do it. It was literally days before we started shooting, and my mom had read the script because I was at dinner. I was on my motorcycle when they called, and then arrived at dinner. Mom read the script, and then she told me if I did or did not sing in the movie, and that was the criterion for me. And the answer was I did not sing.
Okay. Wait, you found out you got that role?
They offered it.
3 days before shooting?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of that's like the quickest turnaround I've ever heard, I think.
These movies go hard like that. That was definitely for sure there was some other person that they must have had lined up, and I was like probably number 9 on the list of people they went through. They went, all right, we're stuck with this guy now if he says yes. I would assume, but yeah, that's I think a rarer circumstance. But these are quick movies. They make them in 15 days. You don't watch the movies, right?
I've definitely seen. Listen.
Yeah, well, everybody's seen them, but
I've seen.
I like about this is that I'm learning about your career a little bit. On the way over, I got to learn more about you and stuff, and like you haven't really watched these movies, so I feel like some things are going to unearth in this conversation that might be compelling. You know what I mean?
That's so cool, and it makes me ask you this question, because I would imagine if you're shooting these movies, and they're obviously for Hallmark, so they're very, these are obviously vanilla, good feeling movies. Do you ever go like, dude, I want to go dark, like I'm gonna go dark, like I want to go like biker, like because it may want you to test your range.
Yeah.
Right?
But I did that. Like, there's a Canadian show called Letterkenny. If you haven't watched it.
Oh, no, I haven't. What's it called?
Check it out, Letterkenny.
Okay, Letterkenny.
They have a new one called Shorzy. Like, it's got a big cult following in America, in Australia, and kind of worldwide. It's my friend's show. It's this very funny, specific sense of humor. You ever heard of Trailer Park Boys?
Yes.
It gets compared to that a lot.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So it's like this kind of like niche insider thing.
Okay.
That's very, very funny, very irreverent. And like that show was created by one of my good friends, Jared Kiso. And like people like Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, they love this show.
Oh, your coffee?
Oh, is that me?
That's fine.
Oh, thanks, Doc. Thanks, Pete. You're the man. You're welcome. What does it say on it? Hoy?
You're the first guest that we've had that just got a hand-delivered Starbucks right to you. I mean, dude.
I'm that guy.
Dude.
Sorry, dude.
Listen, no, man.
I don't feel good about it.
Listen, here's the deal. There had to be a first, and I'm glad it was you.
That's right. That's right. I also noticed, did you make these for the show? Best of?
No, that's the studio. But
I thought I was being bougie with the coffee, but
dude, I'm actually
going to
get, because it matches my show. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This was like custom made. I got excited. I was like, man,
you were saying, you said Ed Norton and...
Yeah, so Ed Norton, like Brad Pitt, they talk about, they love this show. There's like random Americans that seem to really latch on to this Canadian-centric show, but that show is like insane. It's the stuff I say in that show I can't repeat here because Hallmark is outside. but like that character was written for me.
Yeah.
My friend and I, we were developing this skateboarding TV show together, and we put it on ice. And he texted me when I was making one of these and was like, "Hey, do you want to come do Letterkenny?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Is it okay if he talks like you?" And I was like, "Sure." Because I call him all kinds of wild stuff. I'll tell you after we're done the interview. and his name is Old Long D. Dirks.
Gotcha.
And so that's the kind of character he was, and that's the type of show it was.
Yeah.
And that same time as doing Hallmark, and then the same year I did this World War II movie where I'm playing a really nefarious sergeant who's shooting innocent people and such. So. We get to run the gamut once in a while.
You get to switch it up. Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny how like you do something in this business and like people like Brad Pitt and Ed Norton like something? Like, did you ever see the Eddie Murphy doc where he just like was obsessed with ridiculousness?
Who was obsessed with it?
Eddie Murphy was obsessed with the show Ridiculousness.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just funny how like you were saying, like Brad Pitt is just like, you're doing this Canadian show, and then you find out some of the biggest, or like even you do stand up and somebody was like, I was talking about this not long ago on this show with Katie Nolan and like Usain Bolt. Liked one of my online liked one of my bits because he's a stand-up fan. And you're just going, that's the fastest man to ever like live. And like you do something like that on a Canadian show, and you find out Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. Isn't that great though?
It doesn't get old, right?
No.
When people come and tell you like, hey man, that one hit for me. It's like, that feels good. It feels good because the Hallmark movies are like that too.
I'm sure.
It's like shows like NCIS. I remember I did that show, and like people come out of the woodwork that you don't expect. They're like big Hallmark fans that really, really love it. And every Christmas it's on, sometimes throughout the year, it's just there with them. It's that comfort blanket.
Well, it's also like there is so many ugly things in the world, right?
Yeah.
There's so many ugly things in the world. There's so many, like, people go back and forth. People fight with politics. You're never going to win that battle. And then you go to Hallmark and you go to a movie that just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And it's about something that, like, is uplifting that you can't watch a Hallmark movie and get pissed off.
True.
If you do, dude, you need therapy.
You got something
like
wrong,
if you watch a Hallmark and you're like, God damn it, there's something that's you're nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Something's wrong. Yeah.
Something's wrong, dude.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome, dude. And like, I'm not going to sit here, like you said, you were learning about me on the way to the show. I was learning about you. But my team and everybody was like, man, you got to get Tyler. Like, this dude is like, the best. You're like so highly, you spoken of. And now I can totally see.
I appreciate it.
It's nice when you, because sometimes, sometimes you do a podcast where I would say half the time the people, then there's a portion of the time where it's in like a quick acquaintance, and then there's a time where like you don't know anybody, and those can either be awesome, or they could be like, we'll see.
Crash and burn. On my way over, we're sitting in the car, and I was like, where are we going? And I was like, oh, we're doing this. I was like, oh, okay. And then I started looking at your Instagram and stuff. It's like, sick. Okay, he's chilling. Like, we can talk about some stuff.
Of course. Speaking of that, we decided, and this is a really cool, different one.
Yeah.
Okay, because the closest one that I've had to this was comedian Giannis Pappas was on the show, and we did like best days of our life, like the best day you had, and obviously a lot of times it would be your wedding day, it would be when your child birth, when your child's born.
Yeah.
So there were certain days, but you and I, we were talking about it, and we came up with a really good one because this is a deep one.
Yeah.
And it was, and it's something that's going to bring everybody back. So I think while you're listening to this show, you're going to go, oh my God. But we came up with best childhood memories, dude.
Yeah.
And this is, these memories are kind of what molded us into the people that we are now.
Yeah. And you know what? Where this goes, we're going to find out, because we might say some wild things from our childhood that we might unearth. It might be a bit of a therapy session, bro.
Well, listen, the good news is if it gets too heavy, we can edit. We don't want to start freaking people out. Right. We got people listening in their car crying.
Nah, let's keep it all in. Let's get weird.
But yeah, what do you got? What's your first one? Like when you think of like a childhood memory, okay, what's your first kind of
go-to? I mean, I grew up a skateboarder, so that was one big part of my childhood. Like I started acting when I was 7, so I've always really loved movies. And the other thing that was consistent in my life was skateboarding. And skateboarding has got this thing where other skateboarders talk about this. Seinfeld actually's got a good bit on it.
Yeah.
You ever heard his bit on skateboarding?
No.
He talks about the resilience of like skateboarders, essentially. Like this idea that they keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again until they finally get it. And he compares it, I think, to comedy and what that rhythm must be like in terms of like trying to cultivate and sculpt a set or an act. You know what I mean? Like, and skateboarders, we have this kind of understanding that we're gonna just fail 100, 1,000 times to get that result.
Yeah.
And that's a specific kind of upbringing that does kind of shape how you view everything. It also makes you look around at everything and think it's a skateboarding spot. That's the other thing it does.
That's actually really kind of interesting to think about, because you're going to fall down so many times and scrape your knee. Yeah. And you're going to try to, I remember, because I was telling you before, like, I skateboarded. I had a Powell Peralta. I had a Steve Caballero.
Yeah.
It had the dragon on the thing.
Yeah.
My older brother had a Lance Mountain.
Sick.
Do you remember Lance Mountain?
Of course, man.
Yeah, dude, Lance Mountain. Like we were Powell, and I remember my friends. A lot of my friends had Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And we had Powell's. And I had the street rat wheels. I forgot. I had the independent trucks.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, right, all that stuff.
Yeah,
and I remember that. But yeah, we would go to the schoolyard. We would go on a flat surface, and we would try. Like our thing was, see, in New York, it wasn't like California.
Yeah. Where
you have all these like you couldn't go to a skate park.
No.
None of that. Like you either had.
But that's what it was, though. Have you ever seen the movie Kids?
Yes.
That shaped my upbringing.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the New York vibe. Very different from California.
Right. New York is like I had a friend in high school. He loved it so much he built a half pipe in his backyard.
Yeah.
But that's New York or California. You just do whatever. But I would try to ollie multiple boards.
Yeah.
You try to ollie the board.
Would you do it like in the basement of your friend's house at like a party or something?
Dude,
like a parlor trick.
It was. But for me, it ended up being. I don't want to say like a phase because I feel like. What do you think a phase is? A year?
Did you go longer than a year?
A phase.
A phase. I would probably put in the category of, I would say a year. Anything beyond that, it's a pretty big commitment. A year's a long time, especially when you're a kid. That could be like a lifetime for you.
I agree. So I think if you're into something for a year, so it was more than a phase because it was years.
Okay.
But then we also did you have any BMX bikes stuff? Did you have Mongoose? Did you ride?
Everything was around. We had obviously bikes, rollerblades, kind of played a minute until I thought that was whack and we picked up the skateboards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Snowboarding was a thing for a while. Like you kind of dabble in it all.
Yeah.
But you always find that thing. You know what I mean? Like how young were you when you found comedy?
Well, I loved it from when my dad took me to see Eddie Murphy Raw in theaters in the 80s, but I didn't really I did my first open mic when I was 21.
Okay. But your dad took you to see Raw at a theater.
Yeah, against my grandmother and mother's will.
That's big in itself.
And it was 1987, so I was like 9 or 10, and I was locked. And then he took us to see, and around that same time, he took me and my brother. I still don't know how we were allowed in, but my dad, I remember being in there. He took us to see Rodney Dangerfield at Radio City Music Hall.
Live.
Like, went live, and I remember by the end of it, I was sleeping on my dad's lap because I was so little.
Oh, yeah.
But I was around. It was in there.
It was in there.
You know, it was in there. And then seeing Eddie, so like it was in me to do it. And then watching it, people would watch me watch it, and when I watched it, I was just locked. I was just like, dude, I can't, you know? So,
what did you feel like after watching Eddie? Like seeing him, seeing a stand-up special in a theater seems like a fascinating experience because I've never had the opportunity to do that. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you being a child watching in a theater, that must have changed you.
It did. It's actually hilarious that you say that because you're 100%. I was so locked.
Yeah.
I was so locked watching him tell stories about his family and about his drunk father and about his you know, with his brother and all these different things that I was like literally he painted a picture. It was like a one-man show.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh my God.
Yes, more. You get guys like that, like Chappelle's like that. Like they do more than just make you laugh. They take you on a journey.
They take you, yes.
Yeah.
And there's different types of comedy. Like there is the monologue type.
Yeah.
There is more of like the quick setup punch, and more Seinfeldish, more suit late night. And then you got the people who kind of stalk the stage and walk like the Pryors of the world and the Carlins, but they take you on a, you know, like when Richard Pryor talked about how he jumped on the hood of the BMW in his driveway.
Yeah.
And he started smashing the windshield with a bat, and then he goes, it's my car.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't want her to leave, but I'm smashing my car. But that brings you there.
Yeah.
Because when he was talking about that, I was in his driveway watching him do it. For me, that's like when I talk on stage, and I'm more of a story-formed guy.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I'm more of like that. So, like for me, it's like that's what I want to do. I want to paint a picture and be relatable, but it's all subjective. You know?
That's storytelling, man.
Storytelling.
You ever want to get into making movies and things?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
TV shows?
Yeah, absolutely. We're working on stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Something you want to like produce and create?
Yeah, yeah. Well, what I'm doing now is I got some acting parts coming up. I'll tell you about after.
Yeah.
And then, but a goal of mine, which I don't know if might have mentioned this, but what I want to do, because we're talking about childhood memories. My parents were divorced when I was 5 and my brother was 10, so we'd visit my dad on Sundays, and a big thing of what we did on Sundays was go to the movies.
Okay, that was like your ritual.
Like going to a movie theater for me.
Yeah.
And going into like when you used to walk into Blockbuster was a memory that made me feel there's this nostalgic, like being around movies, the smell of the theater with the popcorn and the feel of walking into the darkness with that screen glowing.
Yeah, gum under all the seats.
Oh,
like,
dude. The Haribo gummy bears. And like, dude, I'm just like, for me, that's a childhood memory for me.
Let me ask you this. Do you have a physical media player now to this day, talking about Blockbuster? Do you have like a Blu-ray player or a DVD player?
I have DVD players. Yeah. And I did a bit. I think I did. Did I do it on one of my specials? I think I did a bit on my first special, which came out on Comedy Central in 2018, because my Netflix was 2022, where I talked about being in Blockbuster, and when the movie you wanted was out, you'd wait for people coming back in
to see if they dropped
it back. So like you just be like, and as soon as you see somebody coming in,
like, hey,
and you see them drop it, be like, dude, is it in? Did they get it? Did they get it?
Go check.
Yeah. That's a memory for me.
That still exists, man. Like, so this last couple years, I've repicked that up. I had realized, like, I'm a cinephile, and not just like stories and this kind of stuff. I like the texture of movies. I love the cinematography. I love the color grades. Yeah. All these little things. And I realized I was always in pursuit of like the highest quality sort of experience I could have. And I realized like, oh, wait a second. I was a kid. I would go to theaters and I would see Hunt for Red October, some random 90s movie. Or I'd see it on DVD, or you'd see it on TV in a square box. But what I haven't done is seen like a 4K proper physical media disc, which has all this information on a proper TV, and you get all that texture. And so this whole new experience has emerged for me, where every time I go home in the next couple of days, I'm going to go home, first thing I'm going to do is go to the local video rental store. and I go and I rent 4K Blu-rays and I watch these movies that like I grew up on, whether it's like Braveheart or like I like the random 90s one like Hunt for Red October or like The Fugitive or like
Is that like a childhood memory that you have of watching that?
Totally, like Spawn. I used to love Spawn growing up. That was I was never a comic book kid, but Spawn comics were like my comic.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so like I'm gonna go home. They got a new 4K that came out. I'm gonna get the Spawn movie and I'm gonna watch that at home. But going to that video rental store, we can revisit that today. In most cities, there's a few that exist. You just got to find them.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like, isn't there one Blockbuster left in the?
Is there?
There's a documentary on it. There's
yeah.
one Blockbuster left in the country.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I think it's in the States. I forgot what state it's in.
And I bet you it's crushing it. People want that.
And they want to go to it. I think people take pictures outside of it and all that stuff. I remember when Netflix was just discs. Remember?
Dude, I was in L.A. and I had my buddy staying with me in L.A. and I went to some like Hollywood party that they invited me to for whatever reason, and then the thing that they were giving out was like Netflix subscriptions because I wouldn't buy that. Like, who knew what this thing was? Who wants to do all this disc shenanigans? Exactly. And so we got it. I left my best friend there, who I grew up with, who's a skateboarder and a bricklayer, and I left and I watched. Remember they had the Netflix queues where you could see what you're renting and pick the next 4 discs?
Yep.
As soon as I left the door, my buddy changed the list to like The Holiday, like Love Actually. My dude picked the wackest movies of all time. Those are great movies, by all means. No diss on The Holiday. I actually love that movie. But my guy went full rom-com.
He just screwed with you, yeah.
He loves that.
Oh, he
was all about that life.
That's great.
I just didn't know that. I didn't know that was his taste. So he went full like switch to rom-com like.
Funny if he knew what you were doing now.
I mean, he does. Like the movie that I'm promoting right now, the character's name is Mark and it's named after him.
That's great.
I do that in these movies that they don't know about, but I name them after pro skateboarders.
Oh, that's
my
great. Characters.
Like this one is called Mark Appleyard, who's a Toronto pro skateboarder.
Oh, that's great.
That my manager and best friend actually grew up skateboarding with.
Oh, that's so funny.
But it's named after my friend Mark Pateropoulos, who's my best friend growing up, and that's him changing the cue to rom-coms. And you know what? I didn't even realize, like, I have been doing this. I don't hear him talk about my movies. He's not watching my movies. The guy watches rom-coms.
Yeah.
I'm asking him that when I get home.
Did you ever meet Tony Hawk?
I never met Tony Hawk, but I became friends with a guy named Steve Barra when I was like 13. He's an icon in skateboarding. He was married to Juliette Lewis, who was an actress. He's a director and a writer, a really talented one in his own right. Made movies with like Zooey Deschanel and different people. But I grew up with him, and you're talking about fantasy factor or ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Rob Dyrdek is a good friend of his.
Okay.
So when I was like 13, 14, I was at the skate park, his private skate park, with Rob Dyrdek skating and doing all kinds of funny things with
so
him.
you took to skateboarding, like, you got far in skateboarding.
I was 13 when I started on a movie. Like, I was doing a TV show, and my co-star, who was a supermodel, bought me my very first skateboard. And I used it to go from my trailer to set every day because it was a big studio show that had like a long way to go. So I would skate to set, and that's how I learned. But yeah, I started at 13, and I'm still trying to huck my body around if I can now.
You remember when you got that board? Like, that memory?
Yeah, it was an Element skateboard. It wasn't Mark Appleyard. He used to skate for Element, or does for a minute there. He did. Yeah, I remember it was an Element. It's actually the very first board I got was like a Walmart board.
Yeah.
And I rode it down a hill while I was shooting this TV show, and it ripped apart. The trucks fell off. Dude. And I just ate shit.
I can't believe you said that, because one of my first pain memories. Was I had a skateboard, but it was like a generic.
Yeah.
It began with a V. It was like something that you got at like Kmart.
Yeah, they had like Nashes.
Like a Valtrex. There was just there was some Valec, whatever it was. It was terrible. It was white, and it had like the bad grip. Like it was just,
Yeah.
And we had a steep hill.
Yeah.
And all the older kids, I was always trying to get attention.
Yeah.
Kind of why I do what I do now, you know? There was something, because I don't know if the parents divorced, whatever it was, but I wanted to show people that I belonged. I wanted to show people that I was, that I was cool, that I was daring.
Yeah.
And they were like, Paul will go down that hill, and it was a way too steep hill to go down for my size.
Were they skating too, or was it just you?
No, it was just my board, and everybody was like daring me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll do it. And dude, I go down this thing,
Yeah.
and I get 3/4 of the way down, and it was either the trucks of the skateboard or the wheel hits a pebble.
Yeah.
And I just go flying off the board. And I remember I still had my back got this huge scrape, my knee. My mom put me in this bath with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling. They were like, I can't believe he did it. But that was the first memory of like, wow, you know what? Like that was ballsy, and they know that I'm nothing to play with. But it hurt.
I have that same story, but a different ending. Keep going.
No, tell me yours, because that's it for me. I'm in a bathtub in pain.
That was it?
I'm in a bathtub in pain.
But no crazy scars from it?
Scabs and scars. Yeah, there's
Okay.
some little scars and stuff like that. But that was like the one where like the friends came knocking on the door, and my mom was like, he's in a bath, and she's resting.
Yeah.
But yeah. But no, I'd love to hear yours.
I had the same one. I was a kid, and I was trying to impress my brother, and it was my first two-wheeler bike. And the hill was like this that we lived on. And I went straight down, same thing, trying to flex, and just like hit something, flew, cut my chin open, split it open, like still got a scar now. Most people have chin scars. You ever notice that?
Yes.
It's like a very common thing. I guess a lot of kids, that's just where they go, is they stick their chin out and they eat it. Yeah. That's what I did. And it was on the corner of a brick, and it just started spraying blood like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, man.
Like it was just like everywhere. And we were with this babysitter, and cut to hospital, held me down, put something over my eyes or something, put a big like needle in my chin to try to numb it. But like that was the first time I was like trying to push myself to do something way beyond my means to prove something to my brother, which is a mistake.
It's all about, that was all about your brother.
Yeah.
It was all about letting your brother know that you're that dude.
I'm that dude. And he went down before me and hit the brakes the whole way.
Oh, so
I went down and just pedaled to flex.
That's the younger brother thing.
Yeah.
You got any memories? You mentioned something as we were talking about grandparents, and I have two.
Yeah.
My grandfather had emphysema, so I didn't realize that ice cream's not good for that.
What's emphysema?
It's like it's a lung disease. It's hard to breathe. Like it's he smoked a ton of cigarettes.
Okay.
So emphysema is it's just like a lung. It's just it sucks. It's hard to breathe.
And then what, dairy hurts it because it backs it up?
Ice cream, ice cream. Okay. The I guess the creaminess of it, the content, the dairy is just not good for that.
Copy.
But and my grandmother would always be like, "You can't give it." And he would go, Paul, come here.
Give me that ice cream.
Go get the ice cream and put 2 scoops in a bowl. He's my grandfather.
Yeah.
So I'm like 8, 9.
Of course,
that's my grandfather.
Yeah.
So like I would go, and then he would get caught, and she would just yell, "Han, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And another thing he said, I'll never forget. He was around 70, and he sat on the couch and he just goes, "Paul," he goes, "this life goes fast."
Yeah.
And that's something that I always remember, because now my son is like he's gonna be a senior.
Yeah.
He's driving.
Yeah.
My
What's his
little
name?
girl, my son is Lucas, and my daughter Sophia.
Yeah.
And like watching them, and I remember him saying that. But I remember like the brown rug. Yeah. I remember him on the couch. I almost remember what he was wearing, like gray slacks, and like those things. And he would be, go get me the ice cream. Give me the ice cream. And my grandmother would freak out. And it was so funny, Tyler, because he knew he'd get caught.
Yeah.
But it was worth the bite or two that he got.
Right.
And
did he blame you? Did he blame you? Did he call you? No? Oh, no.
Never.
He took it.
No, he took it.
Okay.
He never, and she would go,
Gramps.
because she knew. She would go, why you having Paul go?
Yeah.
But like things like that, I just think back and I'm like, man, like, simple times.
Yeah. It
sounds corny and cliche, but wasn't it the best?
It's the best. And you ever find, like, I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way, but I feel like smell is the most transportive thing of all the senses.
100%.
Like when you smell something and you just go right back to a memory. I don't know why or what that is. I've never chat GPT'd that question.
Yep.
Where I'm like, why? Is it just me? Do you feel the same way?
I think 1,000%. I could also say sometimes taste, but I guess it's one and the same.
Smell, for me, something about it. It's just like when you walk into a room or you go to a city, like certain cities have a smell.
Yes.
You go back to a city and you go to LA, say you get out of LAX and you smell it and you go, I remember like 100 things from God knows where. Or like you go to your grandparents' house, you're talking about grandparents, like that has a smell. And that's got a very specific smell.
It does.
And if you catch a whiff somewhere else, you walk by somebody on the subway that's got that grandpa smell, right back to that memory. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, 100%. Me and my wife were going to buy a house, and she really wanted it. It was this colonial, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And we go to the downstairs basement, and I go, you smell that? I go, there's like mildew, there's water.
Yeah.
She goes, no, that's how my grandparents' house smelled. And I was
Yeah.
like, your grandparents had water damage.
Totally. Yeah, they had asbestos and they had mold.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we're doing this episode because it's bringing me back to things that like, and what I'm liking about it is I'm going to all pleasant things.
Yeah. Oh, good.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of. I mean, listen, there's bad stuff, but one I'm going to do real quick, and then I want you to do one of yours. But it just you reminded me of something.
Yeah.
We live by a creek, by like a river down in Westchester, and my older brother, he's 5 years older. He didn't want his little brother there when his friend and him were like going to go to this like little creek to fish.
Yeah.
So like this is a good one. Wow, I'm glad we're doing this. All right, so my brother and his friend go to the creek. I'm crying.
Yeah.
He's like, no, come on, in his defense, I'm like 5.
Yeah.
And he's like 9 or 10.
But that gap is like a lifetime too. At that age, it's a big one.
5 years at that age. So him and his friend, or our neighbor Kenny, I never forget Kenny Fleming, and they go down and they go. My brother Christian and Kenny, they go, and my dad sees me crying. And I'm like, Christian went there. He doesn't want me to go. So my dad was like, well, okay, well, I'm going to take you to get a pole. So we go to the toy store and we get this Snoopy. It was a Snoopy fishing rod.
Yeah, rinky-dink little guy.
The biggest piece of, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And we go down, and dude, I caught a fish off the highway.
Oh, yeah.
That was so big that the thing almost broke in half. We had to have a stranger run over that was fishing and take it. And it was this big. And it was so big, we put it in this cooler and went back to the house with it. And my brother and his friend didn't catch a fish.
Yeah.
And my dad made them walk it back and throw it in.
Yeah.
And it's one of the coolest memories that I have of my dad and my brother. And like my dad wasn't around a lot growing up, so that's kind of one of the fondest memories I have.
You didn't cook the fish?
We didn't cook the fish. He made them walk it, but it was in a bucket.
Yeah.
And I think my mom was like, "Get that thing out of here."
Did she feel bad for the fish,
like,
or
what's that?
she felt bad for the fish, or she just wanted to not cook it?
I guess she was like, "Where did it come out of?" Like, just go get.
Yeah, maybe not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was I remember seeing, as I'm talking to you now, I see their silhouettes in the distance walking back with the fish.
Yeah. And you probably felt good about yourself. Huh?
I was like, I'm the man,
You're
and
the
thank my dad for giving me that moment.
It is rare that people catch fish. I gotta say, like, I'm not like an avid fisherman. I've been fishing, and I ain't never caught a fish. The only time I've ever seen anything get caught was my brother caught a seagull when we went fishing once, casting his line out, just caught the bird midair and just ended its life. Yeah, right there and then.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
No fish though. I used to go fishing with my grandpa. Never caught a fish.
My daughter Sophie is very much like me, and my son Lucas is very much like his mother.
Oh, is that right?
And he had a little phase, less than a year of fishing. And we went over this little bridge, and my daughter was there, and they got their lines tangled, and he's yelling at her.
Yeah.
Sophia, what are you doing? He's freaking out. And she goes, hold on, let me figure this out. She's younger. And she actually untangled it, and I go, buddy, stop he was going hard at her. And I go, dude,
chill.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
And she untangled it, and then she went to the other side, and she caught a fish, and he didn't. And it reminded me of what happened with me and my brother. And I was like, man, it's true what they say, like history, man. History kind of has a weird way of repeating itself.
Yeah,
it really does, dude. I really believe in that. Like I'm a very big believer in fate.
Yeah.
I believe in God. I believe in. I have that, and the way that happened with my brother and the fish, and then the way that happened with my son and daughter. In my mind, I said, there's absolutely no way in hell that was not a predestined thing.
Interesting.
Now we just got heavy.
Well,
we just got heavy.
I was gonna
Tyler.
say we do a lot of that kind of stuff in these Hallmark movies. I wasn't like a fate kind of guy either, and I get this question a lot when I do interviews. They go like, what do you relate to with your characters, or did you learn anything from that movie? You get these kind of questions, and for the first time I could answer yes. There was a movie I made about the Kansas City Chiefs, and the theme of it was kind of like fate a little bit. And I think I kind of believe that too now. There's something about like the way things work out, and we're talking about my friend being my manager, and it just feels kind of destined. You know what I mean? Like it feels like the right thing, and more often than not, we get served these kind of like forks in the road. And obviously, it's cliche, and people talk about it a little bit, but like it never really fully rang true to me. And as I get older, it's kind of becoming more and more true. It kind of happens the way it's supposed to.
100%.
Even if it's not quite the way you thought it was going to go, it somehow finds a way, and whatever that initial sort of instinct might be, ends up materializing in a way that usually is more interesting than you could have conceived of in the first place. And you kind of go like, oh yeah, maybe it is kind of meant to go this way.
I think so.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm convinced of it. Do you have any childhood memories that you incorporate in the movie? In the movies?
Well, this one is a story of a grandmother and a granddaughter who basically retrace the steps of her first love, the grandmother's first love. And they rope in grandmother's best friend and myself, who is the kind of like gentleman who works at the retirement community. And so for me, you know, I had two grandparents I was close with. One of them, Bernie, you know, he was up on the visor of the car that we were driving through this road trip movie. I kept him with me. I put my grandmother's name, Cecile, in the movie. And there's a feeling that you get personally with my grandparents. My grandpa and I used to always drink Crown Royal together.
I got a friend that loves Crown Royal.
Disgusting. Worst drink ever.
It's terrible.
But I would drink it with him. Only with him. Because that's all he had. And he would want me to drink it. And so we would have Crown Royal and we would watch baseball. And we would just chill out, and like I would maybe pass out and have a nap, wake up, keep hanging out. He's like French Canadian, you know, doesn't have like perfect English.
Yeah.
But in that, nothing else mattered.
Do
you know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, that's the best.
you're trying to figure things out. You go to this place where like time evaporates, and you're just kind of present doing this thing that you maybe didn't expect, and you're just kind of there. That's a feeling, and that's a feeling I felt like I wanted to transpose into this movie a little bit.
Yeah.
And somebody said that to me today, because I've been doing this. Is why I'm dressed like a kook, I'm all in a suit, is because I've been doing press all day.
Yeah, yeah.
And somebody said that, like, this reminded me of this moment. People sort of bringing up this nostalgic feeling and how it's triggering that in them. And I think that there's something about that. There's something about a grandparent and a very distinct feeling, especially in this day and age where there's always something that's distracting or really interesting to sort of get yourself involved in, whether it's your phone or TV or whatever. And those things where everything stops. You're with that person, nothing matters. That's a real distinct thing. That's a rare commodity that I think is worthwhile exploring now.
I mean, I couldn't agree more, and I think that those moments where today it makes you put down your phone.
Yeah.
It makes you put down the social media. Think about that. I mean, we're in a time now where you get your news on the phone.
Yeah.
You could get a baseball highlight on the phone.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see that dunk? Dude, look at this dunk. What's the score? Everything's on your phone. And then you get those moments where you put it down, you know? You ever go on vacation and your family and you are playing cards?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just nothing. No one's on the phone.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing cards, whether you're playing whatever game it is. You're just playing this game. And it's, I want to win. And you got the score like Rummy 500, whatever it is. And you're just in it. And you're with the people you love the most.
Yeah.
And you went to the beach all day and you went to dinner. And now you're just playing cards and you're going to go to bed. The phone doesn't matter. That moment's real. And then you go back to this stuff that, like, and I always say, like, I'm doing a bit in my act now where we're scrolling, watching people that don't love us.
Yeah.
We don't love them.
Yeah.
But you're just listening to all of this information, and you're also like, you're getting kind of programmed in a bad way. You know, some of it's good. Like, listen, I like watching a highlight. Oh, if I missed the game, what's going on? But then you're hearing all these other things, and the moments that we're talking about, like, we might not have had these childhood memories if there was a phone going on.
Oh, 100%. I sent some to a friend the other day of like what high school was like for me, and people weren't on their phones. And it just really, the visual of it is different when everybody is just kind of doing whatever. And there was a lot of kind of like boredom or meandering, but like, how many memories do you have of moments like that? And how many memories do you not have of like a week ago or a month ago or a year ago or 2 years ago? Because there's so much stimulation, it almost like washes it all out. But I think also that's a phase. I mean,
It's a great point.
First of all, we full circled on fate. We're talking about how this movie, you know, is kind of about this feeling and nostalgia, and now we're talking about childhood memories, so it does kind of connect. So it's good. It's a good subject we picked for today's show.
100%.
But like, this feels like it probably might be a phase. Because I think my phone is very interesting. I pick it up. I see what my friends are up to.
Sure.
I see what my colleagues are up to. I see people I admire. I could go and watch a little clip from your set, and I go like, this is very, very interesting. But it's only because it's new and novel. At a certain point, we are going to get played out on,
Yeah.
oh my God, highlights. Like, okay. And eventually, I think it's going to probably shift back to something else or ratchet up to something else. But to me, it feels like a bit of a phase because things are only interesting so long.
It kind of gives you the thought of what's going to be next.
Yeah.
What's going to be next? Because maybe the phone thing and this just easy access, quick stimulation, that could get played out. And all of a sudden, because look, videos go now a minute, right?
Yeah.
Netflix. The reason why Netflix, they said like people are tuning out. People are tuning out quick. If it's not, you got to catch the attention. That was actually one statistic I was very proud of with my Netflix special was after 5 minutes, people stayed on a long time. But sometimes if it's not, like we're in a time now where you better catch the attention of somebody quick or they're going to the next channel.
Or you got to like incorporate the idea that someone's going to be on their phone while they're watching your thing. Like, does Netflix go so deep with your specials to like give you information about how long they're watching? Are they on their phone? Do they go and like follow you afterwards?
We do get some numbers. They're not really. Netflix is not big with numbers.
Okay.
They don't like giving the numbers.
Oh, they don't.
But I don't know about devices.
Okay.
But I found out how many people watch the first 10 days.
Yeah.
How many people watch like the first month, and then I think. But the big number is how many people stay on after watching you for 2 to 5 minutes. How many stay on? And what Nocturnal Emissions is a special. What I found was a lot. If you stayed on for 5 minutes, 90% of people watched the special, which meant a lot to me. But I put the work into it. But it just also goes to show that the fact that they're giving you that number means that there's a lot of people who are just like.
Normally, yeah.
What's next? You know what I mean? Normally or whatever. What's next? What's next? And it's not even the performer's fault. Sometimes your attention is if everything is so quick.
It's also what mood you're in. Like I'm guilty of that. Like even me, like depending on what kind of state I'm in, like some of my favorite movies and things or things I want to watch, I don't have it in me to give it that kind of attention.
Sure.
And so I gotta put it down and then go to the phone or do something else that's like more alive.
So what would you say your best childhood memory is? If you have, like, do you have one, or like, do you have something that you're just like, dude, that was?
It depends on what it is, right? Like I think about, if you talk about like work, like when I first started this thing and I was just some young little kook, like pretending like he's acting and getting a little paycheck to go buy some Ninja Turtles figurines. I remember distinctly like making somebody cry in the audience for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was doing this play and I could see that, I got that person. And that became a game for me at 7 years old.
Wow.
Like I got them, or that person laughed, I got them. And
you remember vividly seeing somebody crying?
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of things. The other thing that happened, I remember when I was a kid, was when they do these like live plays, you got to like change the set really quick between setups.
Yeah.
Like the scene of land, and we all just kind of pull a prop apart, a table, and I stood on something, and the person pulled it like a blanket, and I just did like a backflip and landed on my face and then ran off the stage. Like that sticks in my mind very vividly. You have like these little moments of like pressure or like reward that really stand out and stick with you. And I mean, who knows how much that kind of informs your present day, because I mean, I just made this movie and I've had like 10 people say to me in a day, like, you got me with that scene and you made me cry. And I did feel a sense of pride when they told me that.
Yeah, because you were into that when you were younger.
I mean, it's just, you want to create a reaction. You want to try to impact somebody in a good way. You know what I mean? Where it creates a rise or a spark that does something. You know what I mean?
It's funny when we think about things that that embarrass us. I got one that's really embarrassing. I'm going to give you an embarrassing.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going
let's
to give
go.
you one that really kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. It's 4th, 5th grade, and I'm sitting there. There's a small class. There wasn't many people in that day.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, and I got my legs up on the thing, and I'm sitting next to this girl, Maria, and the thing was there, and it's just super quiet, and we're just talking, and out of nowhere, I just fart loud.
Yeah.
And I just go, and everybody just looked.
No, they knew it was from you.
No, and I just go, Maria. And she just goes, no. And she got all blushy. And it was such a jerk move, but it was so.
Did you have a crush on Maria?
No, I didn't.
Oh, no.
God. No, I didn't. She was
that's
just the closest person. I was in a panic because I don't know why it happened, because I wasn't like, that wasn't a thing that ever happened. I don't know what happened.
And you just victimized Maria.
I just
she
went
didn't ask
into
for
panic
it.
mode.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I'm in 4th grade.
Yeah.
And I just go, Maria. And she goes, and she, I think she liked me,
Oh,
which was so terrible. It's so terrible.
Did you feel like you could get away with it because
yes.
you thought maybe she'd take the bullet? She'd
Dude,
be like, sorry, guys,
Tyler,
that was on me.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, she likes me. I'm a jerk. And I go, Maria. And she kind of goes, it wasn't me, but she didn't fight it because she liked me.
Yeah.
But that was one that I remember. And I also remember running in the playground, and we're all just running as a pack. And I just fell and tumbled, but hopped up real quick and kept running. Yeah. And the recess teacher goes, Paul, I saw that. But like those little things. Yeah. But it's because you're embarrassed. It's because you're nervous.
Yeah.
You know
also,
what I mean?
Shout out Maria. Where's Maria at?
I know.
She took a bullet for you, man. Give her like a free ticket to a comedy special.
And like, why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just
single her out? Yeah, you
like
could have put one of your buddies in there. You could have been like, "Oh, Paulie, what are you doing? You're shitting your pants in class."
And you know what's funny is my son's friends go like they take pride in it. They're like,
"Oh yeah, that was
like
me."
They'll rip and be like, "That was me."
Mine, yeah.
And like, but when we were young, it was like, no,
you got to cough over that thing. What?
Yeah, no, these memories are like, it's funny because everybody's gone through this. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
sneaking
like
out the house. I remember that.
Yeah.
You remember that?
First time you got your heart broken. You have one of those? Were you young?
Yeah. That's because look, that's your first crush, right?
Yep.
Your first crush, and then you find out, and like the first time you have a crush, and then you find out that they either like or they're dating somebody else, and you just got to take it.
Yeah.
And you just, and then like.
I was 7. In that acting thing, where I was at that theater thing, and there was a girl there, and I just loved this girl. And we said that we were going to be pen pals at the end of this thing when it ended. And she ain't never wrote me back. Not once. Just me writing poetry at 7 years old, sending it to this poor girl. Was like, get away from me.
Wouldn't it be weird if like now you got a letter?
She popped up, yeah. She's like,
she
hey,
it's
me.
Hey, sorry, I've been busy.
It's been busy. Just circling back now with your chicken scratch.
Great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And you have siblings.
I got one brother, 3 years older.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those memories are, those.
Yeah, but my brother and I, we were at odds when we were young. Like, I love my brother. He was texting me now. I was just with my niece. He's got 2 daughters. And we were just there in Toronto before I came here, and we went to her, like, volleyball tournament. She won gold. She just went undefeated. She went undefeated for the whole tournament, MVP of the whole thing.
Wow.
Killed it. Couldn't have been more proud. I've never been, like, a competitive dude, but there was a fierceness that came out of me when I was watching her play that I was like, better just crush these people.
Yeah.
And she won big. But when we were kids, me and my brother, like, I hated him.
Really?
I mean, I loved him, but like we went hard at each other.
Really?
Yeah, like I remember one time I got, you hear those stories about people like picking up a car when they like summon the strength to like save their kid.
Yeah.
I did that for my brother to hurt my brother. I like picked up a couch at like 6 years old or something, lifted it above my head, so some superhuman strength to throw it at my brother. And my mother was like, put the couch down, and I broke the couch. But yeah, we were frenemies.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I swung a golf club at my brother because I think he threw a dart at me and it might have
hit.
It might have hit,
yeah.
and then I, me and my brother are very close, but the 5-year gap, there was a time, where it was like, dude, and like I don't want you around and I get it.
Because five's pretty big. Like you can get into like mentor territory or like protective territory, but it's on the edge. Like my brother is close enough that like we would go at it,
I gotta ask you this because it's Ray Romano did this joke where he was talking about how he had to be clean on Everyone Loves Raymond. He goes, he goes, you know how many times I just wanted to say to Deborah, shut the
yeah.
You know that there's something about, there's truth to that a lot of super clean comedians
live a dark life. Yeah.
You find out some stuff and you're like, because it's like, I never trust something that's super. Obviously, Hallmark's different.
Well, no, 100%. You're not wrong. And again, like for me, like I'm not a complicated guy. I don't do a lot of wild things. I wouldn't claim to be some party animal. Never have been. But again, the truth is the crazy when it's a little bit on the surface.
Yeah,
that's the crazy you can trust.
Yeah, 100%.
The things that are like very polished.
Yep,
something's going on.
Yeah. It'd be funny if you like went into Hallmark for a pitch and you were like, "Look, guys, let's change this up for what if the neighborhood goes I just start running around the neighborhood doing some really dark stuff."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, well, you know what? It was a nice run, Tyler."
I want to make a movie like that. Like there's a world where you do take a movie like this and it would be a different genre, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people would go for a different experience, but you could take something that turns from one of those movies and turns into something else. And that is something that I've kind of been thinking about and working on a little bit. because that could be like an 824 movie. That's like some interesting little take on a thing.
As far as childhood memories, what we're talking about right now, do you have your because there's always a memory of like hooking up with the girl the first time, but do you have a memory of like the first movie that blew you away?
That's a good question.
Or like just being like,
I remember I used to watch when I was doing this TV show when I was 13. They put a satellite dish in my trailer, and they had like all the movies on all the channels. I don't know what kind of satellite system it was, but it was like on 10 different channels I could watch one movie at different times.
Yeah.
And I would always go to my trailer in between takes and watch Night at the Roxbury.
Okay.
So that's the single movie I've seen more than any other movie in
Really?
history is that movie. And I would go to the scene that I wanted to watch, and I would watch it over and over and over again.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I remember the first time I was scared with a movie, and it was it was the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
That freaked me out, dude, because I was little and it was like, unsupervised, saw it, and just I remember the poster and all that.
Those movies are scary, man.
Dude, you know what scared me? You know what it's actually one of my real first fears was the witch in Wizard of Oz, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, when she showed up and the monkeys were flying with
Yeah.
her and that laugh and stuff. Dude, I'm little. I'm like, what am I, 6?
And there's something about the analog like stuff. Like, remember the movie The Ghost?
Yeah.
Remember like the ghosts take him away at the end or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
when he dies?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like, there's like a...
That's scary to me.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? There's a moment where it looks like shadows and they're all showing up.
Yeah, because it's like the unknown, and then like now it's like...
Something about it.
Yeah.
It's creeped me out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's the analog kind of like throwback stuff that hits harder. Christopher Nolan talks about that. He's like, when it comes, that's why like in Oppenheimer, he wanted to use practical effects to create sort of the explosion and not just VFX things. Because he's like, when it comes to like creating fear or something visceral like that, there's something too homogenized about VFX. And so when you get into like the practical effects back in the day with the scary movies or like scarier moments,
Yep.
I find they hit way harder than the newer stuff when they're using all kinds of computer trickery.
Yeah, Rob Zombie, when he redid the Halloween movies,
Yeah.
he was like, listen, everybody's seen Mike Myers. They've seen The Mask. They've seen him come in with the mask and it's scary.
Yep.
But then he walks slow and does this. And like, Rob Zombie's like, what if we made it like real almost? Because the killer's not gonna go like this.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? And he just like the way he like brutalized, and you're going, oh, dude, but that makes it more like when it's more real about how it would really be.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know why I picked that. Check out the Hallmark movie, everybody.
Yeah, Rob Zombie in the next Hallmark movie.
Dude, Rob Zombie
How sick
meets
would that
Hallmark
be?
would be, dude.
Weirder things have happened, man.
Dude.
People you don't expect love these movies.
No, but like, and it's probably something where you're hitting so many different age groups, right? Like the demos, or is it?
I mean, they definitely have their bread and butter, but yeah, it's multi-generational viewing now. It's people who like, I mean, even me, like, I'm going to like, murder documentaries and like wild things that I watch, but I get a good romantic comedy. It's a nice break, and it's a different feeling.
That's so funny. I picture you watching the Dahmer.
Yeah,
You're watching
yeah.
the Dahmer doc, and then the next day you're like, "Come on, Grandma.
Yeah.
Let's go." You're putting.
That's what it is. Honestly, normally when I'm making these movies, I talk about this a bit. What I kind of have started to do, actually for a long time now, is I'll be watching like Pacino in like Dog Day Afternoon, or I'll be on a kick of whatever actor at that moment, and I'll be watching that, and I'll see things that he does. Because this was so great about these movies. It's a very sort of like specific subgenre. You know what you're doing, But I'll take things that he does and I'll go, what if I do that here?
Yeah.
What does that look like? And I would play these little games for my own entertainment where I take these things that you wouldn't think would be inspiration for that movie and I would do it. And it makes for a fun experiment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could watch something. You're watching something like dark and serious, and then you're like, "Let me try to do this with
Let's
something."
just see what
that's
happens.
Just see if it even gives you something that you can like you said, play with, but even maybe make the scene better.
100%. And also anything that makes you kind of lean in. Like you must do this with your comedy, where you're like, you've probably been doing this for a long time, right? You said 20, 21?
Long time, 20. Yeah, dude, 20 plus years. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, where are you going to find inspiration this time? What if it comes from over here? Like, do you do that where you go find something that's really off the beaten path and use that as a starting point to get into your craft?
Yeah, well, it's funny. We're talking about childhood memories and being a kid and seeing stuff that happened with your parents and seeing stuff that happened with your siblings, but now I'm seeing it happen with my kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just look at that and go, oh man, like, you know, like I'll watch like the first time my son challenged me as like hey, like in sports.
Oh yeah.
And like, yeah, so that was the closing bit of my Netflix special.
Oh wow.
You know, so it's like, yeah, you kind of take from the real, you know, you take from the real stuff, and I've been doing it so long that I know when like a memory is going to go on stage,
Yeah.
or I also know when a memory is going to stay there, and we're just going to leave it.
Like you want to keep it private.
I'm going to keep it private. Like that's something, there are certain things where I'm just like, but then there are some things that are so amazing that I'm like, oh man, I'm going to share this. And, you know, but there are things that happen that I'm just like, this has to go on stage.
Yeah.
And people go, oh my God, that happened to me. But then there are certain things that are sweet. But like, yeah, like I have the skills to be like, oh, I can do that fishing story, because I'm doing a bit about fishing right now.
You are?
But yeah,
like you're working on it and you're cultivating it?
And I'm doing it now, and it's something that's probably going to be in my new special.
Yeah.
But I've never talked about the fishing with my brother and everything like that.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to think of, but that's more of like, no, that's like a childhood memory. It's just a vivid childhood memory, and that stays there.
Do you take stories from your kids and put them in your special?
Yes.
Because that's something that's very personal. It's like your family and how much you want to include it in
I'll
in the
never,
thing.
ever, and I always say this, I'll never, ever make them feel uncomfortable. I chose this life. They didn't.
Yeah. Do you
So-
run it by them before you
so-
do it? Like,
yeah.
hey, you guys comfortable with
Yeah,
this?
and if I do a bit on them, it makes them look good.
Okay.
So it's always a
They're
joke
always
that-
a hero in the
It's
end.
always a joke that puts me behind them and puts them in the light and makes them, you know, shine. You know, same with my wife. I've been doing this over 20 years, and one time my wife was like, can we not do that? One time.
Oh, really?
One bit. She was
Wow.
just like, I don't really love that. And she wasn't even that mad. She's like, I just don't love that one. And I'm like, I get it.
And were you like, but the bit's sick, so I'm going to do it?
I was like, yeah, but it's great, so I'm going to take this fight. Dude, this was so great, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure,
please,
dude.
like, I know, I'll be seeing you, right?
I'll be seeing you as the name
Yeah,
of the
please,
movie,
please,
yeah.
like, let them know all that stuff. And
Oh, what the? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Hallmark movie. It's going to be April 25th, 8/7 Central on Hallmark Channel. Next day on their app, Hallmark Plus.
okay.
Yep, and it's a movie starring Christine Ebersol, Stacey Farber, B.J. Harrison, and the dumpster fire you see before you right here. Tune in.
Yes, guys, tune in, man. It's so great to have you on here, and I can see why you're successful. Awesome,
I appreciate
great
that, man.
conversation. And you know what? The childhood memories, man. You got me thinking, and hopefully everybody listening went back to some childhood stuff that they have. Guys, if you want to see me on the road, you could go to paulvirzi.com for all my dates. I'm going to be performing in Hartford, Connecticut, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, Rosemont, Illinois, 20 minutes outside of Chicago, which is one of my favorites. And we just added dates in Ohio. We're going to Toledo. We're going to be Liberty. paulvirzi.com. And guys, subscribe to the show. Go to the YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button and rate and review the show. The more comments that you leave, Paul's Best moves up, and you can get it everywhere you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, and all that. You can check out my special right now, all my specials, and my Netflix special, all on my YouTube channel. Tyler Hynes, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much,
and we will
sir.
see you guys next time on Paul's Best Podcast. Thank you.